Bienvenidos a Les Chisme con Chantal Ibar. Ay, Dios mío. La comida es mi vida. Yo soy dominicana. Diablo, cuánta mierda yo hablo. Bienvenidos a otro episodio de Les Chisme con Chanti. Aquí su host Chantal Ibar, trayéndole más contenido desde Hi Hello Labs de la industria hospitalaria, los restaurantes, toda la vida en Orlando, esta ciudad donde tengo viviendo 8 años. Y hoy le vamos a traer un invitado que es multifacético, es la palabra de hoy, con muchos caminares, y nos va a enseñar un poquito más de su vida persiguiendo diferentes pasiones. Pero acuérdense, denle like, share, subscribe, donde sea que escuchen su podcast. Y sin más preámbulo, aquí les tengo Trey, bienvenido. En Trey, nosotros aquí somos flexible. Si tú quieres more English, si quieres más Spanish, yo me emociono, pero aquí se habla de todo, por eso les chisme, half and half.
Sí, yo entiendo el español, pero poquito.
¿Poquito?
Sí.
Como tú quieras.
Wow, words. Yo no hablo mucho porque...
Pero acércate más al micrófono que está como, tú sabes.
Sí, claro. For me, English is so much easier. It's always been my first language and everything like that. And so that's probably what I'll be speaking in and all this kind of stuff.
Perfecto.
But, I mean, as far as understanding, you know, for the most part, I mean,
I got you. Yo te hablo, tú me
got a little something going on. Like,
oh my goodness. Trey.
Yes.
Do you know why I got you here? Why I invited you here?
I think because I'm decent at what I do and I'm a welcoming person. I mean, I'll say that.
So, señores, hoy Trey es muy interesante su historia y es un bartender mixologist súper talentoso. Y ya ustedes saben, vamos a involucrarlo para que nos enseñe un poco de sus skills ahorita. Pero,
that's sweet of you to say. Thank you for that.
Trey, where can people find you?
All right, so at this point in time, I'm at the Vintage Speakeasy. It's over there in Hunters Creek, Florida. It's a very aesthetically pleasing place. And beyond that, I also do private events and things like that. I travel for them. I do bartending competitions. Actually, I also do bar consulting as well. I've done that a couple times over the past year and a half-ish. And there's a new spot that's opening up in downtown.
Uy, give us the tea.
That I also might be working in. I'm just saying ese
es el chisme que me gusta.
Look, you're not the only one. You're not the only one that's coming in prepared. It's called Les Chismes. So I'm just like, I mean, if we have to. But
yo estoy lista para go to the new spot porque, guys, low-key, yo conocí a Trey en un bar y él estaba con un crop top bien sexy, a themed bar. Pero lo que más me gustó es que he was down for the show. Y yo grabándola así como una loca, creating content, porque para enseñarle a la gente que este new theme bar estaba abriendo. Y el tipo got in full character, he owned it, y yo como, tú sabes que I like you, I like your energy. Y lo grabé, él estaba en el video, me hizo el show. I think even the cover photo del video era tu cara.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah,
y entonces,
it probably is.
Claro, y entonces después, para hacerle el cuento completo, él se va al Vintage Speakeasy, y one of my friends, randomly, que vive por Hunters Creek, estaba bebiéndose un trago y le dice, no, pero este sitio está muy cool y la gente no lo conoce. Tú deberías hablar con una amiga mía que ella hace videos de comida, de bebida, de todo en Orlando. Y mi amigo le dice, Chantal, y le enseña mi Instagram. Y Trey goes, I know her. He goes like, I know her. Y dice, no, sí, dile a Chantal. Y ven a unos tragos y hace una promoción o algo, que sí o qué. Y that's when you DM me. Y yo, oh my God, claro que sí, que me acuerdo de ti.
Yeah, I know. I mean, come through anytime. Any spot that I'm at, I will absolutely, you'll be one of the first people I hit up, be like, hey, come check out this
No,
this new spot, or it's just like, hey, this spot is where I'm working. And
y el
everything like
video quedó bacanísimo. El video ended up doing so well in so many platforms.
Crazy
Le
good.
fue bien en TikTok, hasta en YouTube le fue bien al video.
So many people came up to me and I was just like, oh, how do you hear about us? How do you hear about us? Oh, is this video on YouTube? Oh, is this video on, I'm sorry, not YouTube, Instagram or
On
TikTok.
Instagram,
And I'm just like, I know exactly which one you're talking about. Like,
I know.
your videos are always 100% on point. And it started off at One Up.
Yo no iba a decir el chisme del nombre, pero Trey confessed.
And it's fine. It's all good. I
wasn't sure si se podía decir el nombre or not.
No, you're good. It's so One Up is, I think, one of the few fantastic theme bars here in downtown Orlando. One Up, Cocktails and Screams, and High Tea. I think all of them are fantastic. And I think they have a couple really solid bartenders who I'm just like, yeah, I would really like for you to create a couple cocktails for me if I've already had like a lot of stuff on their menu. You know, Cocktails and Screams are Halloween themed menu, but
they're
One
all
Up,
so good.
of course.
Ay, Dios mío.
But for me, One Up was like the 80s, 90s theme. So for me, I felt like I fit that really
the
well.
Vibe, miren,
so the
vibe.
crop top
Si
and
no
the really short shorts.
Yeah, the short short.
And...
If you're not watching el video, mírenlo, porque él vino en team como mi mixologist bartender. O sea, él vino ready.
I mean, I'm always ready.
I know. Pero y with that, can you show me a little bit los skills tuyos?
So I don't really have like a whole lot or anything like that. It's just like
no, menea la vaina, no te hagas.
I'm just like there's only so much I can do in this space, but
miren,
regardless.
No, miren, vamos a arreglar un chin la cámara y meneate un chin porque yo quiero ver esos skills. Yo quiero verlo. Ponte ahí atrás.
Really?
I'm serious. Dead serious. Dale.
I'm okay. It's not really gonna be a whole lot.
No, un chin, para que la gente vea, para que se deleiten. Y si usted no está viendo esto en video, este es su momento.
Look, I'm just hoping on this time.
Porque el
She came up here and she said I can get this thing. So
Dale. Ay, Dios. Uy, se ve bien, productora. Nítido. Dale, mira. ¡Uy! ¡Ay!
Sí. Oh.
Ya lo, en High Hello Labs no me van a sacar de tu estudio por esta locura.
It's all right. Look, I'm just a man. I'm not perfect.
Dale, ven, siéntate. Gracias. Ay, Dios mío. Señores, este tipo, yo voy a poner el video cuando esto salga porque él hace unos trucos con la vaina y te hace unos tragos. O sea, de morirse. Pero let's go back.
Okay.
Para que la gente sepa un poquito. How did you get into this? Por favor.
Oh my gosh. So I'm still a baby in this game. I've only been bartending for 4 years now.
4 years.
And I've been in craft cocktails for 3 years. And honestly,
O sea, desde COVID.
Yeah, basically. So I was dating someone from 2019 into 2021.
Okay.
Before that, I did a little bit of bartending, but not like a whole lot. Like think Applebee's, Chili's kind of thing. And then after
DK confessions.
look, we all start somewhere. We all start somewhere. So I mean, for me, it's like I have no shame in that. It's just like, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, claro.
And then when her and I split in 2021, I had to do a lot of self-reflection and things that I just needed to figure out. Like, okay, like what do I need to do to provide for myself, my daughter, and all this kind of thing.
Porque paréntesis. El muchacho tiene una niña y vamos a enseñar the parenthood side later. Dale.
Of course. So for me, I was like, all right, so what can I do to make money? What can I do to help my creative side? What can I do to, because I love socializing. I love like being with people, but at the same time, the weird part is I really don't like going out. That's the weirdest thing. It's like every once in a blue moon.
A mí me pasa.
Every once in a while, I'll go out and I'll be like, I'm good for the month.
Okay,
you know?
Ya.
I mean, for me, it's just
o sea,
like...
él es bartender, le encanta hablar con la gente, socializar, pero yo no voy a salir. But I feel like en tu trabajo, you already social is enough.
Exactly. So for me, I can take on a lot of energy. and I'm very aware of a lot of people's energy and what I take on. So for me, sometimes I need like an hour to prepare myself for work, and then sometimes after work I need like an hour to
Para
decompress.
decompress. No, claro.
Exactly. But I mean, how I got started in this, it was just like, well, let me go back into the service industry, and then I got into Coronado Springs, actually,
Oh,
over with
nice.
Disney. And then they started asking me, I was like, hey, like, can you create a couple of cocktails and stuff? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And then it came into like the fall season, and then I started creating a couple more cocktails, and then I was like, oh, like, hey, we really like this. Like, can we?
Señores,
So
el tipo, o sea, el tipo me echó unos tragos que de morirse de la mamacita, sí.
so I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, we can do this. And then I went into Sloppy Joe's, and I helped with them and their menu a little bit, and I helped them starting to create a little bit more. And Sloppy Joe's on iDrive, and that helped started getting my creative juices flowing a little bit more. And then that's when I started getting into One Up, and I feel like One Up helped me a lot because they allowed me to showcase myself.
Ay, qué lindo.
Yeah. So, and I think that was a really beautiful thing, and I feel like they also allowed me to say, it's like, oh yeah, like, you have these on the menu, like, this is the menu. And then when I got really comfortable with that, I was like, well, let me play around with this. Like, is this okay? And they're like, yeah, for sure, do whatever you want. I'm like,
whatever I want,
whatever
I'm
I
in charge.
want? Like, really? Like, well, I'm not gonna say I was in charge, because I was not, but at the same time, I was just like, I was working there so much, and I knew these drinks forward and backwards and all this kind of thing. And then I was like,
I want
okay,
more. You wanted
yeah,
more.
of course,
Eso
of
me
course.
gusta.
So I think after separating from One Up, I was just like, all right, so what can I do to really bring myself to
Build
the
on it.
forefront and keep my autonomy,
Okay.
as well as my creativity, but also keep it 100% bartending. And so
Okay.
that's when
O sea,
I
que
started.
sí te gustó mucho.
Yeah. So actually, I went into a cocktail competition, and
Uy.
I was just like, you know what, let me try
¿Y
it.
dónde?
So this one was in Seattle.
O sea, que
My
tú fuiste de Orlando a Seattle a competir. O sea, después de
so
un año y pico ya, you
so
were
I
ready.
was actually there for a dance battle in Seattle, and then they were having a cocktail competition.
Ooh,
So
so
I was
dos
just
por
like,
uno.
right. So I was like, it's a 2-for-1. Why not?
No,
So I was like,
bueno, no.
okay, cool, whatever. And it was with Sipsmith Gin, and I think it was just like a local thing. It wasn't anything crazy. And they had me like create certain cocktails, and I was just like, oh,
Y tú,
okay,
uy.
cool. And I passed like the first couple rounds, and I was like,
Eso,
okay, cool.
eso.
And I got my butt kicked in the next round. And I was like, I'm totally fine with it. Like, I'm good.
Claro,
But
una
because
experiencia.
it inspired me so much in that cocktail competition. I don't even remember what the name of it was. It was just like, I just know it was Sipsmith Gin, and it was there.
Pero mira, eso, me encanta que tú compartas eso porque es como, it was a failure that brought you closer a las cosas que te gustan y te dijo, mira, este es el camino que yo quiero tomar.
Yeah.
O sea, está increíble eso. Me
And
encanta.
I think that's just one of those things where things happen at the way that they were supposed to happen at the time that they were supposed to happen.
Me encanta. Me
So
encanta.
doing that, and then just like kind of like hopping around a little bit from Disney Springs, or helping bar consulting with this one bar out in like Lakeland area, and I don't even know what's going on there anymore, but they use me for a little bit,
Claro,
and then they're like,
y
all right, cool, hey,
explotaste
thanks
todos esos
again.
talentos que tienes. Me gusta porque, by the way, Trey es un bailarín, o sea, a todo dar. Like, o sea, he went viral for this video.
Oh my God. That was wild. Yeah, that was
o sea,
wild.
O sea, si ustedes creen, el tipo se pone como tímido, pero él baila súper, súper bien.
And it's funny you say that, because right when I went viral, my whole life kind of changed a little bit.
Really? How was that? Cuéntame un poquito más de eso.
So it goes off from what I was just saying. It was just, so I was hopping around, I was doing private events, I was working at Elevate, which isn't in business anymore, over in like Winter Park area. And then I was just trying to figure out, so I did bar consulting over at El Patron Mexican restaurant, which is a great place. If you haven't gone.
No, a mí me gusta.
It's like $15 for an all-you-can-eat
buffet.
You can eat.
I know. I did some videos.
Oh my gosh. I have
yeah.
like 3 plates every time. And my daughter, who is very picky, loves the food.
No, I did some videos hace como 2 años maybe, and I loved it.
And it's right by Disney Springs, and a
Sí.
lot of people don't know about it. I
I
think
know.
it's a beautiful spot. So after there, I went to Tavern at the Creek, and then a month later, because Tavern at the Creek and the Vintage Speakeasy, they're owned by the same people.
The same people, sí.
So a month later, they were like, "Hey, you're really good at this. Like, do you want to move up in the Vintage Speakeasy? Because we feel like you fit over there as more of like the mixology standpoint." I'm like,
Con el porte que este niño
hell
tiene, le
yeah.
dijeron vintage, y él dijo, I'm ready. Yo nací para esto.
I'm like, if there's any opportunity to move up and
Yeah.
push myself and challenge myself and grow,
Eso.
that's what I want. And I feel like that's kind of like where I'm at now, which...
Y when you switch, ahí fue que te fuiste viral también, ¿o cuándo fue?
Right, and exactly. So right when I went from Tavern to Vintage, that's when I went viral.
Y tú dijiste, coño, el mundo es mío. I got this.
So it's funny because it was at the Red Bull dance event, and Red
Uh-huh.
Bull didn't pick me for any of the events that they had in Florida, and like there was a little bit of myself, like I was salty about that.
Oh.
And I was just like, gosh, I feel like I've been repping Florida. I feel like I've been traveling and battling and
¿Y
teaching.
cómo Red Bull elige quién is going to be in or not? ¿Cómo hacen eso? ¿Cómo es esa parte?
So Red Bull Dance Your Style is a platform where a lot of different dancers, regardless of your style, can dance to randomized music. You know,
Okay.
you could dance to Sam Smith, then you can dance to Busta Rhymes, and then you can dance to a house dance track,
Oh, okay.
an authentic house dance track.
Señores, en estos episodios aprendemos cosas que yo ni sabía. O sea, no sabía que Red Bull tenía un freestyle
Yeah.
area. O sea, yo sabía de Red Bull de la bebida. Y después Red Bull de
Right.
Formula One.
Right.
Y ahora Red Bull, y bueno, y de some
Red Bull is
extreme-
behind so many
so
things,
many
and so is
things.
Monster.
Qué crazy.
Right. You wouldn't think so, but I mean, with all of these activities, like what do you
Activities,
need? You
claro,
need energy.
energy.
So what
Yeah,
sponsors it?
es verdad.
You know?
I like it.
So
you were bitter y le dijiste, coño, Red Bull, yo soy lo máximo y no me eligieron.
so for me, I was a little salty. I was a little bitter, and so there was an event here in Orlando,
Uh-huh.
and it was a prelim event for kind of like a qualifier for an event in Tampa.
In Tampa, okay.
So I had worked that same day in Orlando, so I was like, I'm just gonna go, and I'm just gonna show face. I'm gonna do a round, and I'm gonna show Red Bull why they should pick me.
Pick me. Coño,
So
I like it. You were like, tú me vas a elegir porque yo te voy a enseñar que soy lo máximo.
So I'm not gonna
If
talk.
I can make you dance
Right.
right now, I would make you dance.
It all depends on the song you put on. But I mean, for me, I was like, I'm not gonna talk to you. I'm gonna show you.
Eso
It's
me
like,
gusta.
look, this is what I can bring to the table. So I did, and I had work later that day, and they were like, but you were one of the best ones in the prelims. And I was like, sorry, but I have work. So I mean, I appreciate y'all for the opportunity. I'm gonna head out. The same thing happened a week later. I had an opportunity to either go to work or to go to Tampa
Go to Tampa.
and do the qualifier.
Wait. So you did the video and then just dipped. Te fuiste.
So here's where the video comes in.
Sí, o sea, me estás
So,
confundiendo. Tell me
It's
yeah.
okay. I got you. So that happened in Orlando. The video where I went viral happened in Tampa. So I was like, all right, do I work today and play it safe, or do I take a risk and because there were only 2 qualifying spots out of 16 left.
Yeah, okay.
So I was like, I want to go try for a qualifying spot at Red Bull Dance Your Style. So I went to Tampa and I was like, look, I'm going to call out from work today. I'm sorry. I appreciate y'all. And, you know,
O sea,
I did
que
it.
fue un riesgo porque, o sea, you were
Out
like,
of-
no voy a trabajar, no gano dinero, pero yo quiero perseguir esta pasión mía, quiero hacer esto, como que...
Right. It's like, if you truly, don't get me wrong, I love bartending and everything like that, but dance
Pero-
will always have a big part of my heart too.
Claro.
So for me, it's like, I really want to show my passion different ways. So I
No,
took a
el
chance.
tipo es multifacético, señores. So then you went to Tampa y...
Out of 67 people, I made top 2, and I had the prelim round that went viral. That was my prelim round. And
Damn.
everyone lost their mind. And it was wild because I was like,
No, I've
Once-
seen that video even
Right.
before meeting you. Yo no sabía que eras tú.
once I heard that song, I was just like, okay, all right. Yeah, that was
You
amazing.
knocked it out of the park.
It was a moment in time where I will honestly cherish forever.
Let me see. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to...
Oh God. So that's locking. What I'm doing, it's actually a style that's more like for funk and soul, but I want to morph it
Wee! That's...
with whatever song is playing. by keeping it authentic to the original style of locking as best as I can.
Oh my gosh, I can hear the crowd going wild. O sea, me encanta. No, y después de esto, si quieren ver el video, just follow Trey. Where can they follow you on
of
social
course.
media?
So it is Cafe Trey, CAFETRE_ Cafe Trey, because I serve it up.
No.
Dad joke.
Esa parte de ti, o sea, el tipo had everything going on for you y la verdad es que I'm so happy for you. Cheers.
Thank you. I appreciate
¿Y tú
that.
sabes cómo vamos a cheers? Con una comidita aquí que yo traje porque yo comencé mi journey comiendo y me encanta siempre brindarle algo de comida a mis guests y haciéndole honor a tu heritage un poquito, pero con un poquito americanizado como tú, yo te traje una...
Wow.
Una birria aquí. Gracias.
I love video tacos. Like, you have no... I peeped this from over there a little bit. I was just like, gosh, like, what is that? Is that just like a prop or whatever else? And it's actual... I'm like, oh my God. Birria tacos are... And well, birria quesadillas?
No, esto es como una birria quesadilla, pizza, por ahí. Pruébala porque esa es mi parte favorita. Ver a mi guest disfrutando, comiendo y... Dale. Go for it. Dale.
Look, I mean...
Aunque sea un poquito.
All right, just a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay,
just a
all right,
little.
cool.
Dale.
So I didn't have birria until later in my life, which is a shame.
No importa.
So...
Me neither. O sea, yo soy dominicana. ¿Tú te crees que yo comía esto growing up?
I don't know,
yo comía plátano, arroz, carne. Yo no comía
course.
esto.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate this a lot. Let me do this. Oh my gosh, this sauce. It's gonna be messy, and that's the best thing about it.
La mejor parte. Oh my God.
Here, you want to dip it?
No. I'm gonna choose this one. Porque yo...
Oh, for sure. Actually,
I don't trust myself.
Yeah, I think you have the right idea.
Ay, señores. Aquí en Hi Hello Labs, yo los adoro. Este es el estudio que produce esto increíble. Me tengo que portar bien para que no me saquen.
All right, try it just with the sauce first.
Diablo.
Hella good, right?
Diablo.
Mm-hmm.
A temperatura ambiente, porque estaba ahí un ratico, señores, pero está buenísimo.
Good birria is hard to find. This is solid.
Qué bueno.
Where'd you get this?
Mi gordita. Como la gordita que soy. My fat ass.
That's not true.
Diablo.
Oh my God. That's so good. Thank y'all so much for that.
De nada, sí.
That is my heart. Mexican food.
Échate eso para allá.
I'm so sorry, I forgot. Mexican food and Southern food.
Es como
as well as barbecue. Oh my gosh.
tus dos pasiones.
Because like I'm white-sican, so I'm half white and half Mexican.
Ey, señores, pero este término está white.
The whitest Mexican you'll ever meet. Still proud. Always proud of my Mexican and white heritage, so I'm just like, let me just morph the two.
So, was one of your parents white and another Mexican?
My dad is white, and not only white, but like Southern white. It's a very different type.
O sea,
And then my mom, of course, is Mexican, but she's a lot more assimilated into Americanized culture. But she still speaks Spanish fluently. I was just never taught growing up.
oh, so no te So, dime una cosa. ¿Tú creciste in the time where like it was embarrassing to speak Spanish o solo como que it was more convenient y te hablaban inglés or what was the case? Porque esta parte I'm always curious de saber porque hay gente que o le da vergüenza o solo los padres no se toman el tiempo o porque son una mezcla, ya los papás hablan inglés. Anyways, ¿cuál fue tu historia?
Yeah, so my family dynamic, it's not that my dad discouraged my mom from teaching or anything like that. Nothing like that happened. Actually, he encouraged it more so than anything else. My dad actually encouraged me in a lot of things in life.
But they would speak English to each other?
Yeah, always.
So that's probably why you never heard it at home.
Right. And my mom would speak Spanish to my nana and my papa would sometimes like try to teach like little words and things like that, but it just never took. I was actually in Spanish 3 honors in high school.
¿En serio?
Mm-hmm.
¿Y se te olvidó o qué?
And I think that's why, I did well too. I think I got like A's and B's. Easy. But for me, I never really... It just never took because I never practiced it. And honestly, I understand Spanish more because I live over here in Florida. When I used to work at Volcano Bay as a lifeguard for 3 years, I was speaking Spanish left and right, like, la dirección aquí.
You worked at Volcano Bay?
I did, right when it opened. Apparently, I work at a lot of places right when they open. That's a trend, I guess.
It's a trend. You're the OG. Vamos. El tour inauguracional, Trey tiene que trabajar ahí. Mm-hmm. Open it, grow it, y me voy.
Oh, and then once it grows, it's just like, you guys are great.
You guys are great. No me necesitan. Ciao.
Right, that part.
That's so interesting. Y do you have siblings?
I do. I have one sister. Her name is Kristen. She's my best friend. She'll always be my best friend. And that's one thing my dad actually taught us growing up. It's like, no matter what you go through in life, your sibling will be there with you for most of your life. And that's going to be your best friend for your life. So you need to figure out how you're going to mend any sort of wrongdoing. You need to figure out how to communicate with this person. You need to figure out, like, how to protect this person in certain situations. And my sister and I, we would have, like, I would go to her room late at night or she would go to my room late at night and we would just talk.
Ay, qué nice, qué lindo.
And we would just we'd have so many silly,
Is that why you're
moments.
Such a good dad? Porque les digo,
oh my gosh,
el muchacho así lindo, bartender, bailarín loco, pero el muchacho is like a single dad with a split custody. O sea, does that translate? Por eso fue?
Yeah. No, of course it does.
Ay, tiene una niña más linda, no se imaginan.
So I've always worked with kids. My whole life, I've done everything.
Wait, so how many lives do you have? Porque you have done so many things. Tell me all of the random jobs that you've done, por favor. Para la audiencia, todos los random jobs.
Okay, I've done everything from construction.
¿Qué? I don't see you lifting a block. Así en ese outfit. No, mentira.
Oh my gosh, I actually really like it.
¿En
a lot.
serio?
Yeah, I love like labor work. I actually really like labor work.
No me lo imagino. Este pretty boy de que labor work, no te creo.
I love it. Like, I love wearing like a white t-shirt and just like Carhartts and everything like that and just like going to work. Like if there's something... Mm-hmm, yeah, no.
So, ¿qué más? Construction y qué más?
So I was also I got a full ride to a local community college in Arizona for sports medicine therapy.
Oh, wow.
As well as I was on the athletic training side.
Did you finish it?
Nope.
¿Y cuántos años lo hiciste?
1. I still have 1 left. I just, so it's funny because like...
O sea, qué random. O sea, tu vida me encanta. La vida de este muchacho es una película.
I got partial scholarships to San Diego State University, Idaho State University, and University of Nevada, Reno for, and Washington State University for track and field because I used to do pole vaulting in high school as well. So you know the thing where you like put yourself on the pole and you like shoot yourself up in the air?
O sea, exacto. Tú corres, pones la vara y then you flip over y salta como...
You flip over another pole, yeah.
No.
I love roller coasters and I love pole vaulting. Like the thrill of those things, I'm just like, yes. Like, my adrenaline junkie is like,
Este tipo tiene como 10 vidas. O sea, ¿y por qué no lo hiciste o qué hiciste al final?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
O sea, tú tenías todos estos partial scholarships.
Mm-hmm,
y después, ¿a dónde fuiste y por qué te fuiste?
Like, yeah, so they were only little scholarships. So I was going to have to pay thousands of dollars out of my pocket in order to go to this place. I'll always remember those schools just because they even like took the time for that. But my dad helped me get a full ride to a local community college and also like doing what I wanted to do. And my mom's a physical therapist. And I was like, like I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. And it was great for a couple months. And so I started dance late. I started dance in high school because my sister did it. And I was just like, there are girls on the dance team. I'm like, why not? Like let's have fun. Why not? It sounds like good.
Hay niñas lindas, pues yo también voy a bailar.
And look, I've always been a flirt and things like that. I mean, that's just me. It's just who I am and everything like that. And for me, I think the craziest thing is I loved it so much, but I was just like, all right, cool. It was fun for a bit. And then when I went to community college, they had ballet, jazz, modern, different African styles of dance, lyrical. And I fell in love through the discipline of ballet.
Oh, okay.
And then the freedom of what modern gave me, and then jazz, like the expression, and then they wanted me to do a little bit more hip hop stuff for like their showcase, and then I was just like, yeah. And then I wanted to get into more of like hip hop choreography classes outside in the Tucson, Arizona community, so I did that, and then I started learning more. I started teaching more, and when it comes to kids, like I was teaching kids and things
Ay,
like
qué
that. I was teaching
chulo.
kids with parents, like I was doing all this kind of stuff. Like I had like
Y después, ¿por qué?
um
Why did you drop it? ¿Por qué te fuiste de la universidad?
it just wasn't in my heart. Once dance took over,
Took over,
and then
dijiste ya.
I started battling and like traveling
Oh.
for dance battles and teaching workshops.
Y
Once
eso
I
fue
got
antes de irse
better,
viral, imagínense.
I like there's a whole community for dance battles and cocktail competitions and like so many competitions you probably haven't even heard of and all this kind of stuff. And
Can
that's
you name a few? Porque, o sea, la verdad es que este mundo me encanta que you're touching on this porque yo no conozco mucho de eso, pero sí he visto videos tuyos bailando y me fascina.
for sure.
So, can you name a few de los battles para como la gente saber, para aprender más yo misma? Porque esto me parece tan interesante.
That I was in?
Sí.
So the
Or ones that you love,
Yeah.
que you would love to be in.
So
either.
I actually won Just Debut in Washington D.C. in 2019 before COVID happened.
Oh, nice. Ay, felicidades.
Right. So I was Just Debut is one of the biggest dance battles in the entire world, and I was getting flown to France to compete on the
Wow.
international world stage. However, during that time, COVID was happening. So
Ay,
I was
no.
shooting videos over there. I was staying at this beautiful hotel in Paris, and I was just like living my best life. And I was thinking, this is where dance has taken me. I'm like on a roll. And, shortly after that win, I won a 7 to Smoke here in Tampa, which is under I believe that was like for Thesis, which is from a member of the Floridians, which is a local dance crew here in Florida.
Oh, nice. Me writing down to Google it later.
Look, look, this is
Yo
this
quiero
is
ver
what
todos
I'm
los
saying.
competitions.
I mean, I've lived so many lives.
I can see
in-
that. The construction,
Yeah.
the dancer, the instructor,
Well,
the
I mean-
bartender, and Chili's and Volcano Bay. O sea, as a lifeguard.
We haven't even touched on like my time in like holistic healing, as well as like over a year and a half of
Holistic healing. Eso suena fino.
it's crazy. Like I'm not a holistic healing teacher, but like just being in that for
in
like
that.
multiple months, and then for a year and a half, not consecutively, but like I want to say cumulative time, I think that is, of therapy. Like I learn a lot. I've completed 2 different 12-step programs.
O
And
sea, you can pursue. Si algo ustedes se llevan de este episodio, es que tú puedes seguir tu pasión, aunque sean muchas.
yeah, I
Y
mean,
eso me encanta, que you have so many passions
mhm.
y no te da miedo dive into them. Y esa parte te la admiro bastante.
I mean,
Bastante.
we haven't even talked about
No, yo sé, por eso que yo te digo, you're so talented y multifacético. Like, esa palabra, I love that word, multifacético.
that's multifacético.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
like
that. That's such
multifaceted.
like yes. It's such a beautiful word. Spanish is such a beautiful language as compared to English. I mean, there are some nice words in English, but I mean, Spanish is just like
Yeah, multifacético. Y hablando de ese multifacético, y something that you touched on un poquito, pero como aquí estamos en el chisme, you said que tú eres un flirt.
oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lo admitió, ya lo vieron.
The-
So, no, espérate. Déjame
Okay,
hacerte
all
la
right, all right.
pregunta. Can you tell me unas cuantas historias que te han pasado con muchachas, you as a bartender? Porque I've seen them y las muchachas como que se ponen muy excited porque you're a
Uh-huh.
flirt, haciéndole los tragos y los tragos tan buenos.
So, okay, I think I understand
You
your
can
question.
you can make just top stories of girls hitting on you or you making drinks for them y them getting excited or confused. Por favor, top 3 stories.
I've had girls just be like, can I just like kiss you? Like, can I just like give you a kiss on the cheek? Like, can we just
Así
do
de la
like
nada.
And I'm just like, no, I'm working behind the bar. And for me, it's like I take my job seriously in that regard. It's just like, look, if you really are that persistent and stuff like that, and you're just not budging or anything like that, like I don't mind like, okay, quick hug, kiss on the cheek. All right, I hope you have a great night. Please get home safe. Message me when you get home safe, please. Because like that's a big thing for me as a bartender. I want to make sure
It's like the dad energy in you.
I guess, yeah. I
Me
mean,
gusta.
daddy dom energy, like I don't know, whatever. I mean, look, that goes back to my time in the adult industry, which is a whole other thing too.
What?
How do you not know this?
¿De qué?
Okay. That's a thing too. But
No,
like,
pero wait. Acabame las tres historias. I want
Right.
like tangible
3
stories.
stories.
You as a bartender, porque
All right,
imagínate,
so-
el tipo wearing a crop top y con el cuerpazo, o
You
sea,
know, the crazy thing is I did get a lot of attention, like when I was wearing like crop top and short shorts and things like that. Like actually, there were a couple women that I work with that were like, "Oh my gosh, like you should like pull your shorts up higher, like flirt
¿Cómo?
even a little more." It's just like, "Oh, you should like cut your shirt shorter and whatever else." And these were comments that I was just like, I wasn't sure how to feel about it, and then I was like, "All right, but you know, it's fine. It is what it is. It's the bar life, you know." So
o sea,
so
tú
for
te,
me,
tú te sentiste así como se sienten las mujeres, como objectified. Un
oh
poquito.
yeah, for sure.
Ay.
But I
O sea,
mean,
que le pasa a los hombres también, señores, para que vean que no solo a las mujeres.
there's a lot more chisme to this particular story,
Cuéntame.
but later.
Ah!
Later. Look, I've
You can't leave me hanging like that.
you know, the podcast is called Let's Chisme. I just want to keep you like just
No names y no bar name. Just lo que pasó.
Okay.
Dale.
Okay. So I actually was let go from this particular establishment because they said that I was making a couple women feel uncomfortable. So which is fine. I'm like, okay, so if it's me, let me re-examine myself. Let me look at myself. How am I the problem? What did I do? And I did make a comment to where it's just like this girl was expressing herself. This girl was letting me know like how she was like really dealing with some issues, suicidal thoughts.
O sea, ella, it was a client.
It was a coworker.
Oh, wow. Sí.
And like her and her roommate were really going through it. She was really just at wit's end with herself and where she was at, and also with her best friend, which was, I believe at that time, was her roommate. So I was like just listening to her and then trying to build her up. I was like, well, hey, I mean, I'm sorry that you're going through that. That's a really tough thing to go through. If you need anything else, like, please let me know. But hey, at least you look really great in those pants. And she's like, oh my gosh, I know they're my favorite pants and all this kind of stuff. So that's what she said. And then later on, I find out that I also gave a hug to someone that was not wanting hugs at a particular time. So that plus that instance led me to, from my understanding, being let go. But meanwhile, the girl that I complimented, she was 3 inches away from me, flirting with me, putting on makeup like the night of Halloween or the night after Halloween or something like that. And I was totally fine with it. And she was one of those people that made comments about shortening my shorts and like short.
No. Oh my God.
But I mean, at that point in time, I was already being let go, and that was already happening and everything like that. So they just didn't want to hear it. And at that point, I had to really re-examine myself and take a look at myself and just be like, look, if I made someone uncomfortable in that moment, I have to own up to that. And maybe I did. You know,
Pero, o sea, para ti, you didn't.
But for me, it was like, despite how I felt when they made these comments, I didn't bring it up first. And even though I don't think that warranted any sort of like disciplinary action, like a firing or anything like that, it was...
Because de tu lado, you were just trying to like build her up or something, porque she was sharing como que negative things.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like that was her experience. And I can't discount her experience. And that's really important for me to grow from and learn from. And that was a really tough lesson at that point in time because it affected me so much financially, because I had to fight to have close to 50-50 time with my daughter, and I had to pay over $8,000 in lawyer fees.
Ay, Dios mío. O sea,
And
y todo pasó al mismo tiempo.
I'm still paying him. So it's like,
Wow.
for me, I had to do all of that while trying to earn time with my daughter, while providing for myself. Because at this point, my roommate was also shorting me on rent.
Ay, Dios mío.
So it's like everything happens all at once. But that's life.
Life, o sea, a ti te ha pasado o todo going on para bien o todo falling
Literally.
al mismo tiempo.
It's why, so my...
O sea, tú eres o 0 o 100.
So my mentor, my dance mentor and life mentor, one of my best friends.
Which I love que tú menciones eso de mentoring, porque yo siento que 100% en todo uno tiene que tener un mentor.
I'm so grateful for her. Her name is Tash. She is such an amazing woman. She's everything to me. Like, she's helped me guide so many others through guiding me. And I'm so grateful for her.
Qué increíble eso. Pero going back to the story, o sea, está jodido que, and I mean, and I see this happening. Y yo como mujer es como que I get it. O sea, lo que va viene. Like, if I can make those comments, you can make them too. O sea, está como... Y no, don't come at me, pero yo lo he visto. Es como que, si it's okay for me to make the comment, it should be okay for you to make the comment back.
Yeah.
Y está como un gray area que qué pena que te pasó, pero esa vaina pasa. Porque si una mujer lo dice, de una vez, action is taken. Pero probably, if you would have complained, they would have been like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Te hubiesen dicho como que, dude, like, whatever. Y eso es la sociedad. O sea, eso pasa en Orlando y en todo el mundo. O sea, porque yo lo he visto. Y más, yo crecí en República Dominicana, una sociedad un poquito más cerrada, más conservadora. Y eso pasa todo el tiempo.
For me, the gray area is depending on the situation and how things are said.
Claro.
So even though I might be feeling some way about it, if I feel like I can take it, okay, then that's on me.
Then you can take it.
But if this person feels like she can't take it, okay, then that's on her.
Y otra... okay, sorry.
I'm fine. It was just like, so ultimately what I was going to say is, my mentor, she says, life is like this. It's never like, it's never like this, but sometimes, like, what a lot of people don't understand, it's like a staircase. It's like you'll be here for a little bit, and then you'll be up, and then you'll be here, and then you'll dip. And then it's just like, it's a really drastic change at certain points in times, but you have to be able to really be able to get through those dips and really enjoy those upswings as best as you can. So right now I'm in an upswing. I'm in a huge upswing.
No, y aparte de esa historia, tienes una que sea como bien flirtatious que te haya pasado. Maybe not in trouble, pero que sea como un chisme bueno. Porque yo sé que you have a lot of them. I've witnessed some while I'm having a drink y yo te veo. O sea que yo sé que hay.
The crazy thing is like, as I was saying, at the spot downtown, it's like I really wasn't getting. I mean,
is in the other one, is it more action? Porque
I would say over at the Vintage, I get a lot more attention and action, because it's just like, it's a speakeasy, it's a classier thing, but still, like, that's where I've had people like, can I just have one kiss? Like, can I just kiss you on the cheek? Like, I've had a couple women like crawl over the bar to like try to like pull on my tie or something like that, or just like grab my hat. And it's just like, these types of things, I'm like, okay, cool. So if this stuff is happening, like, I use the bar as like my barrier. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is my barrier.
The bar is the protection.
Do not cross the line. Like, this is the line. Like, and we used to have a bouncer and kind of like a acting manager over at the Vintage, but now we don't. So now it's just like, okay, so now I really have to like have that harder boundary and everything like that. But I think that's a beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful thing, ¿tú estás seguro? O sea, tú estás diciendo que
beautiful thing
mujeres,
to have a solid boundary.
Mujeres, cálmense, que él solo hace la bebida, pero he doesn't come with the drink. Es como que he doesn't come with the drink, no se emocionen.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's all a la carte.
Oh my God. Y háblame un poco de cómo tú has usado astrología, astrology, en tus bebidas, porque eso me pareció tan interesante. Cuéntame un poquito de how you've used astrología en tus bebidas.
So, I'm not a huge fan of horoscopes, because I feel like those are the things where people lump astrology and zodiac into like, oh, it's just like a generic saying. Like you can like this can match towards anyone. Like, okay, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
But there are certain qualities in certain zodiac signs where others do not have this.
Okay.
For instance, the impulsiveness and impatience, but at the same time, that passion and that youthful wild spirit of an Aries is not the same of a Taurus. A Taurus is both stubborn, practical, understanding, like.
Not me being a Taurus.
Oh. Why do you think I brought up a Taurus? I love.
Te estoy escuchando. So how do you incorporate eso in like drinks?
So, for instance, a Taurus.
Did you ask them? Tú me preguntas como que what's your sign or
Yeah,
what do you?
I would
How do you
say-
go about it?
So, okay. So
Act it out.
if you were at the bar with me, I would say, okay, so
I'm at the bar with Trey. Okay, dale.
I use a zodiac sign. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not even gonna give my secrets because then someone else can just do it.
No.
with their creative.
Dime.
All right. So you're at the bar.
Okay.
You're a Taurus.
Okay.
We are currently in Sagittarius season right now.
El diablo. Mm-hmm.
Well, the Sagittarius season it's about being able to
Pero
be
does
wild.
it depend on the season que yo me voy a beber el trago?
It does. So for me, it's like if I just want to make a cocktail for a Taurus, it could be strong, stubborn, practical.
So what would you make me?
I would probably make you
If I have like big Taurus energy, ¿qué tú me haces?
Big Taurus energy, I would probably make you a riff off of. I don't know. For you, I'm actually feeling something like a penicillin.
¿Cómo?
Penicillin is with like ginger honey syrup, Scotch whiskey. Like it's
Me está gustando. Me está gustando.
it's a like lemony type of cocktail. So I mean, think more refreshing type of like rejuvenating almost, but at the same time strong.
Strong.
You
Eso
know,
me gusta.
I was gonna say like a riff off of like a Manhattan, which of course is very spirit forward, classy, all of these things. What I'm saying is like I see a Taurus as this.
Okay.
You
Me
know,
gusta.
So I mean, but for you specifically,
For
because
me.
yes, for you, I don't want to give you like a riff off of a classic because I feel like a lot of people do that, and I mean I have plenty of recipes like that. But for me, it's like I want to give you something different. I want to give you something that like stands out a little bit that
Okay.
people will see it and be like,
Que
"Wait,
ella
what
está
does she
bebiendo.
have?" And I feel
Ooh.
like that's you, like as a person. But also that's going off of
Hey,
your sign.
this is not a paid ad. He said that about me on his own.
That's true. I did. I'm straightforward with it. I'm very authentic when it comes to like, look, this is what it is. Like this is how I feel. But yeah, that's probably what I would make you. But also with what's going on, being in Sagittarius season, it's kind of like you want to like let go a little bit. It's good to be wild and free. You want to show
Wild and
that
free, así
you
mismo,
want to show that
libre.
passionate side. Like you want to like. You want to be in the space of where you can feel like you can give. You want to feel like you're in the space of where you can just let loose and just like be silly and be funny. I feel like
Me gusta.
yeah.
Eso del zodiac con los tragos, eso está muy bueno. Me gusta.
So this is the time of year where for a Taurus, I would make you a penicillin.
Oh. Me está gustando eso.
But I mean that's how I would go about creating cocktails and things like that for different people.
For different people, you get their vibe y
Mhm,
como
yeah.
que make me, no sé qué, depending on the mood. Eso me gusta.
Exactly. So anyone can make you a cocktail. Well, I'm not going to say anyone, but like
No
sorry.
todo el mundo.
I'm just
Pero
I will say like
some people
can make you there you go. Some people can make you a cocktail based off of your zodiac sign and everything like that. But you bring the energy to me. I'm
Okay.
the one that's supposed to read the energy and return it back to you, not only and talk to you about it, but make you in a cocktail.
Make me in a cocktail. Chantal en un cóctel.
Chantalacillin.
Chantal Selena. Ay, no,
so
no,
weird.
me encanta. No, I love it. O sea, para mí, este es un espacio donde es como conocerte a ti,
Mhm.
tu historia, and what you bring to this Orlando community. ¿Entiendes? Y
Oh,
eh,
wow.
eso me parece increíble que tú tengas tantas facetas en tu vida
Mhm.
y que todo o sea, todo lo has tomado como que este es el reto que yo siento que quiero tomar ahora. Y aunque te hayas caído COVID happened, muchas cosas te hayan quedado sin oportunidades, tú has abierto otras puertas a otros caminos que, mira, te
Right.
llevaron a donde estás hoy, súper feliz, batallando por estar con tu niña, que, by the way, tuvimos varias interrupciones, pero la niña está adorable y solo quiere la atención de su papi, which, qué lindura. Y como que ese espíritu que you have about life, me encanta. Y with that in mind, what would be one piece of advice a girl or a guy or anybody que it's wanting to pursue the passion, either dancing or bartending? Dame un advice for each.
I think
Chan, 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 chan.
I know. I have a few things to say. But if I had to pick one, I would say check your ego at the door.
Wow. Me gustó eso.
So the reason why I say this is because when I started off dancing, I got hot really quick. Like I started winning battles really quick. I
Y
started
tú
teaching
pensabas que
really
tú eras lo
quickly.
máximo.
And for me, it's like doing a style called locking, which is not common.
Es como el que diga así. Ya.
Yeah, so like locking.
Alan Ching, enseña a la gente. Uy.
So for me, a style called locking, it's about expression. It's about like being funky and weird and all this kind of stuff. But at the same time, there aren't a lot of people doing it, and not a lot of people are doing it authentically.
Yeah, okay.
So I think that's a really important thing. So to be able to say, okay,
check your ego
I've done this for 2 years.
Okay.
You're not ready to teach. There are people who have been doing it for 8 years and teaching the wrong things. And plus, it's the same with bartending. It's just like, I can't tell you how many people say it's like, oh, this is an old-fashioned recipe. This is a traditional old-fashioned recipe. And then you look at it and it's like...
gross.
I'm trying to think. So it's like, I've seen one...
Dilo como tú quieres.
Without naming any names, I've seen one to where it's like 0.5 simple syrup. Then you have 2 ounces of bourbon. You have 3 dashes of like orange bitters. And then you add something like Amaro. Like someone would say like that's a traditional old-fashioned recipe. And I'm just like...
Está questionable eso.
It's like if your traditional old-fashioned recipe doesn't have Angostura bitters and Demerara syrup and bourbon, like that's all you need.
Clásico es simple. Me da una risa. Me acordé de mi mamá in all my episodes. Yo siempre hago alguna expresión de mi mamá y es como que te quería decir sin pelos en la lengua. Like, no te cohibas. If you want to criticize, go at it. Porque yo sé que I actually follow one famous bartender and he talks about all the bartending behind the scenes, y shitty bartenders and bartender life.
It's a thing, you know, it is a thing, but it's like...
Okay, is la reputación of bartending, is it as bad as people make it seem, or what would you say?
Well, okay, it depends. Like, what's the reputation? Because some people have different interpretations of the reputation.
Yo he visto de todo. Like, they say it's like bad. Como que, what I've heard,
okay,
yo personalmente, Chantal, es que it's a lot of, okay, yo me entra mucho cash hoy, entonces voy, salgo, bebo, and I think I'm invincible porque me dan todos estos tips, me dan todo este cash y voy y lo gasto y como que no es una vida organizada.
Okay.
Is that true?
So,
¿Tú lo ves eso? Like,
part of that like goes back to the ego thing.
Debunk it for me, please.
Yeah, part of that goes back to the ego thing I said. It's like people want to start bartending immediately after about like a year, like thinking they know everything. Look, I can't tell you, like, I think I was in like, perfect example. I was like, oh man, like what if I win this cocktail competition? Went to Jacksonville. I was in like top 16. Like everything was great. 2 random ingredients and a random spirit cocktail that I have to create right there.
2 random ingredients. Okay, esas son las instrucciones. 2 random ingredients.
I'd use like chocolate pudding and strawberry probiotic in a drink.
Ay, no, Dios mío.
And the spirit was a coffee-based rum.
No.
So I'm like, okay, I got this. I forgot.
On the spot, and how much time they give you?
5 minutes.
Ay, Dios mío.
I have to make 1 cocktail for the judges and then 1 cocktail for everyone else to like sample. So for me, it's like, all right, cool. I got this cocktail. I know exactly what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. I'm confident. And then all of a sudden I forget one of the secret ingredients. I had to start all over. I had like 2 minutes left. Terrible.
Oy.
And meanwhile, the other guy, he's already done. And he's already done it. He's already shown flair and all this kind of stuff. This guy he's working on his 3rd distillery right now. He's been bartending for decades. And it's like, he knows his stuff forwards and backwards. And I got my ass kicked.
Y ahí otra vez, check your ego
And
out the
that was
door.
one of the best things to happen to me. Just a reminder of like, you think you're something. Meanwhile, there's someone 10 times better than you. Just humble yourself and just connect with them. Just talk with them. Learn from them.
Me gusta.
You know, and that's the big thing. So going back to what your question is, just like when it comes to the bar life, I've seen so many bartenders, especially here downtown. And that's a scary thing for me because soon I might be working downtown again. My ex, she
is that true? La gente sale, like, is that like a myth, or does that life does happen?
No, like, it's true. So my ex, like, she has an addiction.
Uy.
And it's like, I have an addiction. So it's like, there are different types of addictions out there. And a lot of this stuff is alcohol, sex, drugs. All of it is in the bar community.
In the bar
and
community.
Then you have like money under the table. And then you have like multiple aspects of infidelity. Then you have multiple aspects of just like hiding things and lying and all of this.
Y how do you keep your shit together siendo un padre? ¿Cómo tú te mantienes en un buen camino?
You have to be able to, like I use a bar as like a boundary. You have to be able to have strong boundaries. And in my past, I didn't. Like,
Coño, mira, tú vas de ser carismático de flirt to being so grounded, me encanta. Y tú usas eso como un boundary, me encanta.
Honestly, you know what happened? It was the 12-step programs for me. I had an addiction that I didn't even know that I had. And then going into 12-step programs saved my life in more ways than one. Wow. Therapy helped. Don't get me wrong. But like the 12-step programs, if it weren't for that, then I didn't have that. And then beyond that, I also had something, my daughter, to work towards. I have to create an environment to where she can grow up and thrive not just survive. And so for me, it's like, okay, yes, bartending, this is work. Mixology, this is work. Cocktail competition, my passion. Dance is my passion. All of this kind of stuff. But everything else is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th as compared to my daughter.
To your daughter.
Spending time with her. Like right here, it's like we have to pause the podcast and everything like that. What does my daughter need? Is she okay? Yeah. She's crying. Let me hold her for a little bit. Let me make sure she's good. Let me continue my work. It's like, it's little things like that. It's like, I don't have privacy at home. It's like 5 minutes of privacy is like, I better get my stuff together and then move forward. But when it comes to the bar life, a lot of this stuff is a very real thing. So it's hard to find people who are healthy in this industry. But when you do, those are people you can really grow with and hang on to.
And he's one of them. And that's why I think you should all try y vayan al Vintage Speakeasy, encuentren a Trey, que le haga un trago con su horoscope, con sus vibras y para que confirmen todas las teorías que nos dio. Así que ya ustedes saben, muchísimas gracias, Trey, por tu tiempo aquí. Denle like, denle subscribe. Señores, los 5-star reviews nos hacen falta. Donde sea que tú escuches podcast, dale ese review y nos vemos en el próximo episodio.